Accountability in workplace, in relationship, or in your personal life is one of the most valuable assets. It is an irreplaceable value in leaders, even more so in education sector. Hello, everybody. I'm your host Seema Chhoriya, and I'm very excited to welcome you all to another insightful session on great principles. Joining me in conversation is my very accountable guest of the day, Mr. Srikar Basava, Principal DAV IIT Hyderabad Campus, Telangana. Welcome to Great Principles, sir. We are very honored to have you with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, sir, let us start where it all started. And I think once upon a time, life offered you an opportunity to teach. And that is where this all started. And look at you today. You are heading an institute already. So, tell me, sir, how has life as an educator been for you so far? And what do you think? What future has it for you?
Uh, First of all, I thank Great Principals team for giving me an opportunity uh, to share with. This was not my uh, choice. It was only a chance. Sometimes long ago, like 19 years back, I have been given an opportunity by one of a chairperson. I never forget her. She's R. Gomati Prasad, who was heading Kencrest International School at Karimnagar. So there, my journey has started as a kindergarten teacher, like grade one. I was handling grade one, primary and kindergarten. There itself, it started exactly. Means to be frank, I was not passionate to become a teacher, but that moment when I have got an opportunity, yes, I understood there is something I have to do and something I can do for the benefit of the students. So from there, my journey started, and day by day, year by year, I started upgrading myself, grade one to grade two, grade two to grade three. Then, like this, slowly entered into the next level, secondary stages, senior secondary stages. Then got an opportunity to head of the institution, a particular division. So slowly, I was associated with the school for a period of 11 years. So then worked at different places. Now with the recent academic year, I have completed 19 years. Now entering into 20. As I said, yes, this sector is most important sector, I believe, because it is not about the kind of financial thing, or it is not a good. Here we train young minds, which is actually the next generation resource. We have a number of resources. Hopefully, social teachers, science teachers focus a lot on mineral resources. But here we are training
Yes, sir.
most here we are training the most important resource, that is a human resource, which is actually important for the next generation. We have been developed a lot. We are into a comfortable society. We have a number of things, a lot of inventions, a lot of discoveries have happened, but there is no instrument which can gauge human brain or human hearts. So we are working with that resource which cannot be replaced forever. So I feel proud to be in this particular. Yes, there is uh, like infinity things to be learned. There is no end at all. Daily there is something, some learning happens at every point of time.
Absolutely, sir. So, someone who just landed up into this profession today is in love with this profession, and you rightly said education is a service. It's not a job or a work that you're doing because you're doing something which is irreplaceable. But, sir, I have a question for you. Why don't we see many males in this segment? I mean, I don't see many male teachers applying. I get so many resumes every day, but I don't see many. Yes, they do apply, but for heading the institute, but not as a teacher. What do you think? Why is it so?
Exactly, we don't know, ma'am. As I said, even we have this kind of things here at my institute. Also, I have 80% of the female teachers, only 20%. But as I said, teaching is a service, so you have to be passionate about that. So finding passionate teachers is important. So we don't focus on male or female, but I don't know, like that passion is more among a female, I feel. But now the trend has changed. I could see there is a little incoming of male people into the sector. But yes, one thing I could say is it all depends upon the passion. As if you have passion, yes, and really, when at the time of recruitment, we usually focus on that particular element. Yes, experience is there, qualification is there, but how you are going to connect to the students coming down the level. You have some doctorates, you have some PG graduation, but how you are able to connect to this minute brain is more important. So there maybe it is more important where a male has to pitch in and work a little bit more, and of course female, that motherlyhood, womanhood, everything is there. So obviously we cannot replace them. So this quality should be imbibed by the male. Then obviously no problem. There would be teachers, male teachers.
Very wonderfully answered, I must say. You beautifully brought out the motherly feeling and everything that females have naturally, and you just connected it with that. This is the reason that you don't see many males in this profession. I really love this answer, sir. And but the
And
point is,
here,
yeah,
I want to add one point. Most of the time, at the time of recruitment, teachers usually say, "I only handle high school." But I sincerely request everyone at least handle one academic year, grade one or kindergarten class. That's okay. You keep your experiences, right? Then you will know what is actually a child need. There actually you'll know what you as an individual you can do for the benefit of the society. Then okay, you take up your senior secondary classes or secondary classes. That is fine. Yes, ma'am. Please.
right. Absolutely, sir. I think I also love the point where you mentioned that if you're not passionate, please don't become a teacher. Because when you're
Yes.
passionate, then only you can connect. And this connect is very important so that actual learning happens. Very wonderfully answered, sir. Moving ahead. So, talking about different kind of mindsets and different kind of, the genderness and this segment. Now, let us talk about some challenges that pandemic threw upon each one of us during this. So, what were the challenges that you and your team faced during the pandemic, and how did you overcome? What were the learning from these 2 years that will go throughout your life with you?
Rightly said, ma'am. March 2019 or March 18th, the date when the pandemic has got and when it was announced as a lockdown and all, we are clueless actually, to be frank. For 1 week, we don't know what we have to do. We were just thinking about that, and there is no connect exactly. We don't know which platform is available in the market to connect to us. We were just connecting through WhatsApp calls or some, and we were finding out finally, okay, there are some platforms available like Zoom, Google, Microsoft Teams, and all. They have like this, but initially it was very difficult for us. But what I would say is, in the middle of a difficulty, only you find an opportunity. This is what we usually believe, especially teachers. Teachers should have this. So that made us to get into different platforms and connecting to different resources available in the market. One side, yes, we have missed the students learning right in front of us, and we have missed that emotional quotient, we have missed that physical touch, physical connect. But yes, now we have been equipped with more skills, digital skills, to be frank. Now what is it happening in the classroom when this physical classes have started? The teachers have come up with extra resources than that of regular resources. So pandemic is one phase, what I would say, where most of us, not only teachers, most of us have enhanced their abilities, enhanced their skills with a new platform. This is what I can say. Yes, it has suffered a lot. That is one side of the coin. But the other side of the coin is, yes, we have been brought or invited to a different resources where everyone can connect.
Absolutely said. So very rightly said that that when it started, we all were completely numb what we need to do. So it also taught us that we need to teach our children to be more adaptable. Life may throw anything; they need to just quickly adapt to the situation and thoughtfully come out of it. Then how we should, like, we all thought, like, what are the other things that learning must go on, and we connected with the technology and ensure that our children must learn. Yes, so these were a few learnings from the pandemic, and I'm sure that it has left deeper impact on us today. We both are connecting virtually, so we have accepted that yes, virtual world keeps us connected globally. It's easier, So there are so many learnings from this. So moving ahead to my next question to you, sir, there are so many things and so many rewards and recognition and appreciation that we get for our work. But at times I wonder, when there are so many private schools and each is just trying to be at its best, no one wants to share at times. The things are changing, but I don't know, people don't come up, collaborate with each other and then work. So what do you think? Why is it important for leaders to share their journey and philosophies and give an opportunity to for others also to replicate their work rather than having the feeling of competitiveness? We all should have a focus of ensuring the best for the children, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Rightly said. This is again, as you have mentioned, ma'am, leaders. A leader is not that you possess all the skills. It is your responsibility to ensure that your team, your surroundings, in and out, where you are called as a leader, to share the resources. Because you know the purpose of resource. The resources are for the next generation. You're training the next generation to utilize their resources and all. So it is equally, you're responsible to share your resources. Now, obviously, for the sake of awards or rewards, you hide these resources. Definitely, we accept and we agree. But the purpose of this will be served only to a particular extent. So first of all, being a leader, you have to come out of that particular zone. You need to have a growth mindset. Yes, you share the resource. Obviously, you will be recognized from one or the other. If you're only looking for a particular award and you keep some resources hidden, only that particular society or but that particular institute will recognize. But when you start sharing resources, then definitely there are a number of people who recognize. The best example for this is India's Bharat Ratna, Padma Shri awardees. These are all. We don't know those people actually where they stay, where what do they do and all. But yes, there is a point, there is a person, or there is a team who will be recognizing them. During pandemic also, like we have been while looking into a number of what do you call, while Google or something, some sites, we have come across Aravind Gupta Toys, which is actually a superb website where we can make n number of hands-on experiments. So before that, even I don't know who is Aravind Gupta. Maybe few people have known, but there I have made my teachers. Please get into that. So if you are only looking at one side of the coin, that is up to the person. But if you look at other side, yes, you get that recognition. You get each and everything. What is that you are expecting? Even something, some like without your expectations, also you may get something beyond your expectations. So I myself, or whoever it may be, you are a leader or whatever. If you have a resource, please try to share that resource. Financially, if you are helping or not, that is a material. But try to help. And there are a number of awards, like if I could say International School Award, which is sponsored by British schools, British Council. The major initiative or the major objective of that particular award is collaboration. So here we try to collaborate with other country schools. Now, when you are ready to share your resource with other country, why don't with your neighbors? There itself you have to think. That's it. If you think, then ultimately you'll come out of your what do you call your constraints and all. For some other country, you're ready to share resource. Why not for your neighbor or for your colleague?
Absolutely. So, what you think is what you become. So, if you think just for your growth, then you will not have growth mindset and you will not have your team running and growing with you. So, I think very beautifully summed up that it's depend on the person and sharing and collaboration is the key. Future depends on this, and we need to teach this skill to our children also, that it is not about you, running and coming first somewhere, but it's about how do you ensure that you are doing something so that the community is growing together. So this is something, a very beautiful message and a very powerful one shared by you, that it's all about the person, how he thinks, it's about his perspective. So I think by education we can change this perspective, sir, right? Our youth
Obviously,
sitting in the classroom will not be the same.
this is the only
Sorry.
platform. This is the only platform. This is the only platform, ma'am, where we can change.
Absolutely, sir. So, because these minds are still unframed, there is so much that we can just put in. Because once a person is fixed and rigid, it's very difficult to change that person. So, let's try to bring a change in our children through this beautiful thought of yours. Moving ahead to my next question, sir. There are so many times when we make mistakes and when we are not ourselves and we lose control. So, in these times, as an educationist, who is that person whom you look upon to as your go-to person to support you and advise you?
It depends upon the situation and the kind of problem I face, ma'am. There is nothing specific like I look at one particular, but yes, depending upon the problem, something relevant to the administrative, then obviously I depend on my admin team. Something relevant to academics, I depend on my academic team, my co-teachers and all. We go hand in hand. There is nothing like I alone will drive this, but yes, we are working like a team. And usually, I would say this, that's it, whomever it may be, you are not an individual. For this, I just take simple example. Usually a teacher or a leader, they usually like, I teach a lot, I train students and all. And sometimes we demean and we degrade the people who are working in the admin. I take one example. You take an IT person during this virtual learning and all. Just change the IP address, finish, your work is done. If IP address is changed, you cannot connect to anyone. You have lot of knowledge here, but you cannot. So give that respect time, try to give importance to each and everyone. Yes, when there is a need, all of them will be trying to help you. So there is no specific person or specific team, but it depends upon the situation and the problem which we try to get in.
Absolutely, sir. So, not a particular person or not a particular resource that you rely upon. It's all the persons and they all, help you in certain way. Even I believe this, that do good and the good will come back to you. When you are good to others, you never know in what manner it will come back to you. So the person who is always ready to help automatically in when he needs, he doesn't need to call upon or everyone automatically steps in. So that is the result of accepting everyone, whether senior or junior, to guide you. So
Yes.
wonderfully answered this one. So now we have reached a very, very exciting segment of the show, which is called rapid fire round. You have to answer me in one word or a statement. Okay, sir?
Okay, ma'am.
And we start with our very first question. An incident that brings smile to your face.
My elder daughter's birth.
Wow. Blessed are those who have daughters, Very beautiful
Yes.
incident for you.
That
Moving
that
to my
that is.
next one. Sorry, sir?
No, no. Yes, yes, yes. Please continue.
All right. Coming up to my next question. Uh, Alu Arjun or Prabhas, who is your favorite actor?
To be frank, I don't have any favorite actors,
You are
especially
not a movie buff?
celebrities. No, no, no,
You're not a
not at
movie.
all.
No, no, no. Okay, so what do you watch otherwise?
Uh, Generalized things, ma'am. Usually, I try to look for some sustainability of urban development and all. So, look for such kind of things. Discovery, National Geographic. These are the things where I try to get into that. What is actually happening? What is the difference between the metropolitan and the tribal areas? How far we can bring something best to this particular generation?
Wonderful. So you keep on learning even when you're entertaining yourself, right?
Obviously.
So what is your recreational activity? How do you enjoy yourself?
Keep reading articles, ma'am, especially editorial articles.
Okay.
That makes me
So
editorial articles and the new things which are happening across the country. What is it required? And usually, I have a habit like if something comes in the newspaper, like if something is new, immediately I share with my group and I'll ask, please ensure that this reaches to the students. You ensure that it, because yesterday there was an article, Jammu Kashmir, one of the panchayat has become completely carbon free. Immediately I shared with my team. I said, please share it with the students. They read or not, that is okay. But as an educator, it is our prime responsibility to share what is it happening across the country.
absolutely. This is what keeps you in touch with what is happening around the premise of the school. Your education is not limited to the premise itself. It is about what
Correct.
is ongoing, and you learn so much from what is happening around you. So moving ahead to my next question, which is your favorite dish from Telangana cuisine, if I ask?
Telangana, uh, we are fond of rice, ma'am. Rice and
Okay.
the kind of curries. We usually go for spicy food. Achar, you call it as achar. Our achar, you the moment you take, you don't feel. You look for water, so it's very spicy dishes.
Oh, so how do you digest this spicy food? I mean, how does your gut
We
take
were
this?
we were habituated, madam, from these many years. At least now the trend has come slowly. They are diluting it, but we were habituated.
All right. One advice for our dear parents.
A simple thing, madam. Support the students, support your children, encourage the children, ensure that they are in a learning environment. This learning can happen from any of the corner.
Very rightly said, sir. Coming up to my last question in this segment, you have a hobby of gardening, I suppose. So,
Yes,
what
yes.
do you enjoy most about gardening?
Watering all gardening activities, ma'am. There is no specific area. In fact, wherever I work, I don't like teachers or students, what do they think, but my first initiative would be You stop distributing chocolates. Instead, you donate a plant to the school garden or a book to a library. This is what wherever I go, I ensure that it happens. 50% they are happy, 50% they may not be, but I ensure that because there itself you possess that lonely, what do you call that, ownership towards plants, towards environment. And second, the other side, okay, sharing books to the library will definitely help you to increase your what do you call reading skills or learning skills. What so these are the two initiatives wherever I go, I ensure that it is taken care.
But the children, they are so small that the joy of eating chocolate on the birthday is something one need to feel upon. So, I mean, are they allowed to
Sometimes
do that too?
sometimes it happens, madam. Even I feel, but that some it is when comparison comes, I usually try to. There are kids sometimes instead of that they try to bring fruits. Okay, it is allowed. It is accepted. We try to.
Yeah, because that is that one special day that everyone wants to be the center of attention, because that is the only day when you get all the attention you want from the world. So the child has this beautiful feeling of sharing that joy. So rightly said, sir. But these hobbies, these thoughts are inculcated from the very young age. When you guide the child to do something which will create a difference, that is something very beautiful to do. So wonderful thoughts.
Here,
And what would be the better
here
day
I
to
want
start
to
this habit? Yeah.
one more point, ma'am. Here, when they donate a plant or when they donate a book, what we usually do is it will happen in the assembly. So everyone will be knowing whose birthday and all. One more initiative what we have taken is whichever the plant they plant, we keep a small label for it on the child's name, and we take a photograph, share with them. So now it may not be, but over a period of time, after 10 years, maybe I am here or not. The people may be here or not, but the plant which you have kept in the garden will be there forever on your name. On your
Yeah.
name. So that we are only focusing at that particular element. I truly understand when chocolates were not distributed, they feel bad, but sometimes, depending upon that
Yeah.
innocent face, we'll try to consider up to some extent.
Absolutely, sir. Coming up to the last question in the segment, how do you maintain your work life balance?
uh, Little critical, ma'am, but this only goes in hand with the home minister's approval. Like it all depends upon how both the family and relation how you maintain. So the kind of support I get from my spouse is more than that. What actually I cannot describe it, to be frank. So it all depends upon the mutual understanding of the people. The family support is much more required. If that family supports, yes, we can balance both. If not, obviously we cannot balance. Hope that is experienced by every individual.
Absolutely, sir. And family is the prime importance. So when they are supportive, then only we can, go ahead in our work. I very much agree with you. So to all my dear viewers out there, support your spouse, support your family members to achieve. Do not stress them out with the pressure. They also want to spend time with you, and they will certainly do that when you support them. It's like give and take relationship. So beautifully answered in this segment, sir. We got to know some different things about you, for some fun facts about you. Coming to the last question of the show, which is also called viewers' choice question. So, sir, my viewers says that sport teachers us to value physical work, sharing with teams, and develop interpersonal skills, which are integral to child's overall growth. So, do you endorse sport as an important part of life skills at your school too?
Yes, ma'am. Daily they will have the sports activity. One sports period is given for the students. Apart from this, every week they have some yoga, meditation classes. And if there is a student who is special or is particular about learning any of the sports, we ensure that from the school end, whatever the resources we can give to the particular student, we try to give that resources so that they are trained and excel at the next level. So it is part and parcel of our regular academics.
So, what do you think? I mean, what all the sports teaches a child, and why a parent must ensure a child must be enrolled in some kind of the activity, or he must have some kind of physical play with him?
Hmm. Art integration and sports integration. So any child you take, ma'am, 99.99%, at least one of the art is possessed by the child. It may be sport, it may be art. In coming to the art, it may be a theatrical arts or drama kind of thing, or some music, vocal, some kind of art will be there in the children. 99.99%, if not 100%. So try to support, train them by connecting with the skill what they possess. Then definitely learning will happen. Academics is only 50%. Academics is only 50%. Rest all the 50% will depend upon the skill development, overall skill development of the child. And really, if you could identify and nurture the skill which is possessed by the child, then yes, the child will be reaching the maximum level where he or she has to reach. Until and unless if you don't identify, you give any guide, you give any book, any resource, I'm sure that the person would be an unsuccessful person. So this is the core responsibility of a principal or a teacher, whoever it may be, and the parent equally, because all of them are the stakeholders to train one student.
Absolutely. So, if I put it this way, that every child is genius, and we just need to discover that genius within as parent, teachers, and
100%.
educators together. Yes.
100%.
So, sir, it was really wonderful to hear you. There were so many things that we learned, that a person who landed into education just by chance has become the passionate educator of the day to day. And, it's about passionate teachers should only continue in the job. We also learned about different strategies for learning methods. We also learned about how important it is to inculcate values right from the beginning, of sharing, giving, like the example, beautiful example shared by Sir of planting, giving, donating a plant or a book to the school. That was very beautiful thought, which I certainly loved. And how that every child has genius within. We all need to, collaboratively work to discover that. So these were some lovely takeaways from this interview today. So thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time and sharing your journey with us. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and I'm sure my viewers would certainly do.
Thank you. I thank all your viewers and all your team who are behind the screen, who are helping us in all the ways to happen this. I thank each and everyone, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.